What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I'm going to be sharing how to dominate Operation Intercept on offense. I've done this with a few of the other war maps, and I feel like a lot of the tips I have here are going to be extremely helpful to help you succeed. So kicking it off with the first section, all we have to do in the first section is rescue 4 hostages. There's 2 in each room, we have to break through the door and then rescue the 2 hostages in each room. With this section, it's pretty straightforward. Honestly, I'm going to show you a couple lines of sight and stuff, but for the most part, it's just going to come down to you pushing the objective and getting it done. So first up, when you come right over to this area right here, if you're breaking out a spawn, sometimes you get people that'll try and spawn trap you from in that room there. You can easily counter them with this head glitch right here. They'll have no chance in this gunfight. Next up, over towards the B side of the map here, this is an area where I often get killed by because I forget to look up here. I'm starting to catch on to this a bit more, but if you actually mantle up right here, you get a great line of sight towards the middle of the street. Sometimes you get enemies camping down here, and they almost never seem to look up here. So usually I can pop up here, grab a free kill or 2, and then get back down and make sure I'm watching this window here. Now, as I'm attacking the B side here, the most common place for them to defend is right in this position right here. Once you end up getting this wall blown up, assuming it's built in the first place, instead of coming around like this and then coming into the room trying to challenge them and exposing your whole body, what I prefer doing is actually kind of head glitching this area here to make it a bit more of a fair fight. If anything, it's actually a little bit stacked in my favor because I can expose exactly as much as I want to because this is actually a slope. Now, once we get the B door open here and you have the hostages in here, there's a couple things I wanted to point out, and this works for both teams as well. So if you're on defense, this can work. If you're on offense, this can work. Let's just say you've broken in there, but then you lost it and the enemies are now in there. They're set up and they're just camping this. They might be like camping in this corner or camping in this corner like this, and it can be pretty difficult to break in there to rescue those hostages. What a lot of people didn't notice is you can actually just throw your nades and stuff through here, no problem. Like frag grenades, sticky grenades, stun grenades especially, they're going to be great for that. Even though I can't really throw them too well, that little hole is very important. Also, another thing you can do if you're rescuing the hostages on offense is you can often just throw a stun grenade through this hole right here if you expect enemies are just about to come off a spawn. So let's just say you clear off like 3 enemies, you get into this room, you're about to start untying one, just pop a stun grenade in there and then start untying the hostage. And as you're doing that, the stun grenade will go off and hopefully stun any enemies that are coming off of spawn. Now, getting over towards the A side, if you're pushing this side of the map here and somebody's up on that machine gun, it can be a little bit difficult to cross this particular area here because you're exposing your whole body. A great way to pick them off if you happen to be in this situation right here is simply mantle into this windowsill and strafe over. You actually kind of head glitch over top of this truck here. You can crouch to take cover, stand up, there you go. Free kill on that guy, and then you can push up safely. Now with this window right here, we can actually use this as a check spot. You can check to see where the enemies are before actually turning in and pushing into this room here. So sometimes you'll have a guy set up on the barrel or somewhere else, and you can very easily just jump up, see what's going on. You could throw your nades and stuns and stuff through there as well before you proceed through this door. Now once again, just like with the B side of the map, when you open A, you'll notice there's also a crack right here. So it could be a similar situation. You break in here, you get a couple kills, you open the door. Maybe if you expect them to be coming off a spawn through there, you can pop your stun grenade right through there, and that'll just hold them off long enough for you to get your hostage untied. So that's it for the first section. Now let's have a look at the second section here. This is where we have to destroy 25 radios. It's kind of similar to on Operation Neptune when you have to destroy all of the comm units, but this time you've got a lot of smaller ones as well. Once again, just like with Operation Neptune, I have some crazy wallbang spots. If you have an LMG with FMJ and extended mags, this is amazing. The first one I'm going to show you guys here is almost unfair, but it allows you to take out all of these radios along this wall without even really coming out of spawn. So I'll just show you the spot here real quick. When you come out of spawn, you want to be up in that area right there. So as you're coming up here, what you can do is you can actually go prone right here so that anybody on that machine gun and stuff, they can't even see you. First wallbang spot to cover all the ones on that wall are going to be right underneath that branch, right in this side of the wall here. So we can just spray through there, make sure you've got FMJ and extended mags on your LMG, and you can actually take them all out. It does take a little bit of feeling around, but there you go. Kind of found a good spot there. One of them you have to aim a little bit high. That's the one that's in the corner at the top of the stairs. But if you just keep spraying through there, you'll keep getting hit markers to the point where you'll be able to take out all of those comms unit or those radios on that side of the wall over there. Now, in addition to that, there's a couple that you can spray through that are down here in this area. So you can just keep spraying through that wall and you'll end up hitting those ones as well. But moving on to the next one, these ones all right here, you can easily pick off without entering the room as well. Just remember there's one right through here as well. So oftentimes people miss this one little radio that's set up in that corner there. Oh, and I missed this one right here when I was in that back area. But if I would have sprayed around a little bit more, I would have been able to get that one as well. And then we got the ones on the table here, just through the wall, shooting through there. And then obviously these ones, pretty straightforward. You can shoot from this window here without ever entering the room. This next one, you're going to want a full magazine for this one. This is probably the most difficult one to get most of the time. And it's usually the last one that's alive. And it's actually this one right here. The sandbags here protect it from the window. And also you can't shoot directly through this fireplace to get it from this side, even with an LMG with FMJ. However, if you get yourself posted up in this window here, it's super easy. All you have to do is spray through that area right there. If you just spray through there, it might take quite a few shots. Keep in mind, I do have the health lowered on these a little bit just for demonstration purposes, but you can see there, I actually spray through the corner of that and it destroys this radio right here. Now, once again, without ever entering the room, I can come over here to take out these ones right here, but also from here, I should be able to spray through the wall right there. You can't quite see the one I'm shooting at. That was actually destroying this one here, so I can destroy that without entering the room as well. This one, we can also destroy without ever entering the room. All you have to do with this one is make it up towards this window over here. Obviously, you got to be aware of the people coming out of spawn there, but if you make it over to this area right here, clean line of sight on that, you can easily pick that one off. And that just leaves you with this radio right here. When you come into the room, you'll have to actually come into the room to get that one, or at least nade it or something like that. And then all of these little ones in the corner here. These ones you could just attack with like a brute force sort of method, just kind of like rush in there and get as many shots as possible. Also from the top of the stairs here, you can easily pick that one off as well as that one. So that picks off a few for you, and then you can easily come over here and pick the rest of these off. So super simple to pick off all of these radio units. You can pick most of them off without ever entering this room, which is amazing. Getting into the next stage, this is where we have to escort the tank to the end of the map here, and the first section here is pretty straightforward. You just have to win your gunfights with your teammates and push up. But the key here is usually controlling this area right here. So make sure if you're an aggressive player, you're confident in winning your gunfights, this is the area you want to be pushing on this side of the map. You want to get this wall destroyed, lock this down, shoot all the people that are here, and make sure this area is under control. That way, all they have to worry about are the people that are standing out here, and they have no cover, so they're generally not going to be able to do too much to challenge your teammates. Another thing you can do is if you get posted up on the sandbags right here, this can definitely help you to take the people out as they come out of spawn from that area there, while kind of protecting you from the people that are over here. So the first section, like I said, pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to tell you here. Moving on to the second section. The second section here is also relatively straightforward, but there's a couple things you can do to stack the odds in your favor. First off, close this door right here, because getting flanked by those people can definitely screw you over, especially once you get the tank pushed up to like this area here. If you guys aren't paying attention to that side, they can easily get to you, so you can just close that door. Of course, the enemies can just open that again and come through, but you should be able to hear that door open, or at least it'll hold them off for another second or so. Same thing goes maybe for this door. It depends on the situation. If you have lots of teammates flooding through this area here, obviously you want to keep that door open. But if your entire team is pretty much pushing through here, then you might as well just close this door so you don't get flanked on the other side from enemies that might try and flank around that way. So finally, we have the last section here. And for those of you guys that have played this map, you know this is one of the most difficult sections to get through in any of the war maps that we have so far. The first thing I'm going to tell you guys are smoke grenades are key. You definitely want to be using smoke grenades here, just like with the bridge on Operation Breakout. They're practically necessary to complete this stage right here, unless you just have a completely dominant team. So the big thing we have to be aware of with this is there's actually 3 enemy mounted machine guns. There's one there, and one here. These are going to be the parts where you really have to focus on. This guy right here, I've actually got an amazing nade spot for you guys. I worked on this for quite some time. It works every single time with a sticky grenade, and if you time it right with cooking your frag grenade, it will also work. But to take this guy out of the minigun, or the machine gun there that is posted up, all you have to do as you're coming off of spawn, you should be spawning somewhere back here, wedge yourself in this corner right here with a sticky grenade. You want to be aiming up to about this point right here, kind of in the open space. If you use like the top left corner of your indicator and line it up with the little section on that piece of metal there, if you throw this grenade, that will land literally right on top of the machine gunner. Now, it actually airbursts. It explodes just above their head, so it doesn't actually stick them, unfortunately. So if they do have armored or hunker, it might not kill them in one hit, but it will at least damage them a lot and maybe force them to come off of that gun. If they don't have those perks, though, that's an easy kill every single time you come out of spawn, and that's really, really helpful to know. Aside from that tip, all I can tell you is you usually want to get somebody with a rifle or an LMG set up on this position here to lock down that train area right there, because that's one of the areas they'll come out of spawn and they'll just kind of sit there. This guy can also every now and then challenge people that are on those machine guns there. Next, you want to have somebody on this side of the map over here. He's the one that's making sure people aren't getting to that machine gun, or he's cleaning up the people that are on there. And eventually, it's best to get pushed up right here because you're covered from that machine gun. And now you can actually watch them as they cross from spawn into this area right here. And you can essentially lock down that entire area there. And then the rest of it, unfortunately, is just going to have to be brute force. Use those smoke grenades to your advantage. Make sure as you get up to this point, you're locking down spawns that way. You got guys watching in all directions, and you just got to push your way through to the end. And with that, we're going to wrap up today's video on how to dominate Operation Intercept on offense. I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of this war map so far? Also, part 2 to this, where I'm going to be talking about defense, that should be coming within the next few days. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.